Hi, thanks for watching my lesson. This is a long overdue third part to my series of lessons on Joe Bonamassa's version of The Thriller's Gone from the Live at the Greek Theatre recording. A couple of years ago I did a part one and a part two. Part one looked at the intro, part two looked at the first solo, and then this one looks at the last solo and a little bit of the outro. This is inspired by a request from a very nice man named Scott, who asked me to do it, and it's been great fun to sort of relearn those first solos, especially now I'm writing more tabs, so I've done some tab for those, be some tab for this one, maybe on the screen. Backing track, you can use the same one that's linked to in the previous videos, which is also on YouTube for free. A slightly different backing track for this one that'll be on the Patreon page because it's got that kind of B minor vamp at the end for some of the outro. I'm not going to do all of the outro because it goes on quite a while, but I'll do like the first sort of dozen or so licks, maybe a few more, and discuss some of the things he's doing. In terms of chords and rhythm, what chords are used for the 12 bar, it's that's all covered in the first part, so I'm not going to go over that again. I'm just going to go straight into the solo. Yeah. B minor pentatonic and B natural minor for the most part. Let's get stuck into it. So we start off with this first lick. Actually, I'm going to play the whole thing all the way through a little bit slowly for people who just like to learn it that way, and then I'll do the licks. So the whole solo, not doing the outro part, is this. Go, slow that down, learn it that way if you prefer. Let's now break it down into chunks. So we start off with a few pre-solo licks. Oh God, I can't think of the term for them. Pickup licks, pickup notes, yeah. So they're going to come in on the and of the second beat in the bar before the 12 bars recycle. So 1 and 2 and then we play this. So 12 on the B, 10 on the E, and then bend a full step and release on the 12th fret of the E. So the first two are very staccato. And then we pull off to the 10. Play the 12 again, bend it up a step, this time don't sound the release. Finish by playing 10 on the E, 12 twice on the B, and then 10 on the E again. For that second 12, a bit of vibrato. And then for that final note on the 10th fret of the E, we do like a tiny micro bend. Whenever you're doing those sort of micro bends in the blues, certainly you'd never want to sound the release, you want to cut it off. So that's then we do this, which was in the previous solo, which is a great move. 7 on the B, 10 on the E, 7 on the B, 9 on the E. Try not to let the notes bleed into each other. Then we have 12 on the E, 12 on the B, 10 on the E. And then 12 again on the E, 10 on the E again. picking again the 12 on the E, this time we're bending up a step, don't sound the release. Pick it again and pull off to the 10. Play 12 on the B. Bit of vibrato, and then play 10 again on the E and slide up. So he does that throughout all of the solos, that little sliding up. We're not going to a specific note, we're just kind of going up around the 17th fret and then kind of gently coming off. So putting that all together so far. Then we have this, which is 7-10 on the B, 7 on the E, 10 again on the B, but this time we bend up a step and give it plenty of vibrato. Then we have this. Seven on the E, 10-7 on the B. Bend up the 9th fret on the G one step, don't sound the release. It's quite a slow bend, that one, even though it's quite a fast lick. It took me a while to work that out. It's quite, you can kind of hear it. It's almost like he's pre-bended and coming down, but I don't think he is. I came to the conclusion he's just doing that. So again, don't sound the release on that. Play it again unbent. Play 7 on the G. Finish that little lick with 9 on the D. And then very quickly we're going into this nice lick, which is really emphasizing the E minor. And what we're doing there is hammering on 7 to 9 on the G. Then playing 8 on the B, 7 on the E. Coming back to 8 on the B and give it some vibrato. And then we pick it again, the 8, pull off to 7. And then play 9 on the G, pull off to 7, but there's a bit more of a delay before the pull off there. So altogether that bit's going to sound like this. Try and kind of not let the other strings bleed into the sound. Try and keep it, you know, try and mute as much as possible what you're not playing for that little phrase. And then we very quickly come up to this. Which is a half step bend on the 14th fret of the B. And then don't sound the release, play it again and pull off to the 12. And then play 14 again. Hold it with some vibrato. And then we have this quite fast lick. So what we've done there, we've just done this lick. And then we're going to go 12 on the B, 14 on the G, 12 on the B, 15 on the B, 12, 14 on the E, play the 12 again on the E and hammer off to 14 and pull off. So play 15 again on the B, then play 15 again and bend it up a whole step. Don't sound the release and play it again. And then we do that, which is right, let me put that all together just to remind myself how it goes. Right, so that last fast bit is 12, 15 on B, back to 12, 14 on the G, and then repeat all of that again. 12, 15, 12, 14. Play 12 again on the B. Bit of vibrato, hold it for a little bit and then play the 14 on the G and slide down. Let's start from the beginning because I'm rushing this a bit, so I'm going to go for it all, putting it all in context. And then we go back to this lick, which is 7 on the B, 10 on the E, 7 on the B, 9 on the E. Then we play the 9 again and we do a half step, bend and release. Then we play 12, 10, 12 on the E. Play the 12 again and then the 10 again. So play the 12 and slide up to 14. Pick the 14 2 more times. And this is where it gets a bit tricky because in the recording the notes, they're not really cutting through the mix very well, so it's hard to tell how many times he's playing each one. But this is the gist of it, he's kind of sliding up from 12 to 14 and then 17. So I think what's happening is that after he's played the 14 2 more times, he's then picking it again and sliding up to 17. Then playing the 17 2 times and then playing it again but bending it. So that's 2 bends, 2 full step bends. The first one you don't sound the release. And the second one you do. So. And then you try and pull off to the 14. If you can't pull off because it's quite a tricky move, just play the 14. So from here we have and then that last lick to finish, which is 14 on the E, and then 17 full step bend, don't sound the release on the B. Play 17 again, then 15, bend it again, the 17, again don't sound the release, play 15 again. Finish by playing 16 on the G 4 times with plenty of vibrato. And on the last one, slide down. So that's the entirety of of this solo. Just because I like to be thorough, I'm going to do it again a bit more slowly and then we'll discuss the outro. So. that's it. And now we've got the outro. So I'm going to cover, like I said, the first however many licks. But the rhythm is changing here. It's just holding a B minor. So if you try and play these licks over the backing track, once you get past the 4th bar, it's going to start to sound off because it's just a B minor. Like I said, I'll put a backing track on the Patreon which holds the B minor. Again, not for as long as the actual song, but holds a fair few bars of the B minor to practice some of these over. But what's happening is pretty soon after we come off of this. So, yeah, so after this, we've then got this lick. We go very quickly into this when the B minor vamp starts. It's very simple. 9 on the A, 7 on the D, 9 on the D, back to 7 on the D, finish with 9 on the D. That's the first one. Then he does it again. And if you want, you can hit a bit of that B minor chord. So for that, I just added on the end a double stop, 7 and 7 on the G and the B. Slide down, so. So he does that a lot throughout. But if we're copying exactly what he does at the beginning, we do that twice. Like that, and then we do this, which is a half step bend on the 9th fret of the G. Don't sound a release, play it again. Play 7 on the G, 9 on the D, and then 9 again, and then finish with 7 on the D, very staccato at the end there. Cut it off, and then he plays this again, which we've covered. He then moves up to pattern 2 of the minor pentatonic and does this. Which is a full step bend on the 12th fret of the E. Don't sound a release, play it again. Play 10. And then play 12 twice on the B string. He then goes back to this. Then does this one again, which is a half step bend on 9, play it again, 7, 9, 9, 7 on the D. Then I think he comes up to this classic B.B. King move and plays the 19th fret on the E string, whilst also kind of mute picking the G, the D, G and the B strings. Doesn't matter if you don't want to do that, you can just go. So it's basically 4 staccato picks on that 19th fret. Slide down. Slide down. Then he plays this lick back in position 1, which is. So that starts off with 10 on the B string. Bend up a half step the 9 on the G. Play it again, unbent. 9, 9, 7 on the D, same as before. Then comes back up here, does the 4 picks on the 19 again. He then plays back in second position. That one again, so 12, 1 step bend, 10, 12, 12, but this time he goes back to the 10 on the E. Back to the 4 picks on the 19. Actually, I don't think he does go straight up there. He then plays this pattern 3 lick, which is. Which is a half step bend on the 14. Don't sound a release, play it again. Play 12. So that's all on the B string, 14, 14 on the G, 12 on the B, 14 on the G again. And that's basically it. He moves up to some licks in what you might know as pattern 4, which would be 17, one step bend on the B string, play it again unbent, 15, and then bend that 17 again. And at one point he does that, he does about 4 of them in a row, so that's just bending the 17, don't sound a release, play it again, then play 15. Yeah, and then it's just a variation of that, a variation of licks around the 14th, pattern 4 and pattern 3. But there's too many for me to do them all. I have tabbed out quite a few, again, on the Patreon, should you so wish. But that's it. Yeah. Hopefully that all made sense, and I've got all the song done now. If you've got any questions, let me know. Been a pleasure. Thanks again to Scott, and yeah, I'll see you for the next one. Thank you very much.